Hi, I'm James Stanley.
I'm Harry Wills.
And this is Taverners Guitars. We're doing a little tour. We're looking for a guitar around £500.
Got plenty of those in.
And we ship them as well.
We do indeed, yeah. Send them anywhere.
For that, I just got a bit stuck there in the.
Got stuck in the thing.
Stuck in the juju. I'll see you at the coda. So these are under £500 guitars, believe it or not, people.
They all are, yeah, they all are. And there is a mix of stuff. And yeah, I mean, I think it goes to show that you can go onto various music sites, music shops. You can go and spend £500 or north of £500 on all of these guitars that would have been brand new. In fact, everything behind you would have been north of £500 brand new.
Wow.
To some of them, quite the extreme. What's in my hands here is a Gretsch G5622T.
Wow.
Now look, I've got to confess, Gretsch lineup of guitars changes so much, and it changes what they do, and it also changes the numbers. It's like the Porsche 911 analogy.
Right, okay.
So
you got me now. Now I know what you're on about.
So it's like, it's a 911, but then there's a 99583 GT TRS thing.
And then there's a GT2 and a
GT2 and a GT3.
964 as well.
Yeah, there's a 958. So that's Gretsch's.
Are any of these water cooled or air cooled? It's
kind of important thing. Well, I think in their style they'd probably be air cooled, which means they could blow up. But other than that, they're great. Like, they really are. Bang for buck that you get with Gretsch is just unbelievable. I mean, like, for the rock or the metally, maybe infused guitarist, what PRS give you in that market, this will give you in the slightly more, shall we say, 50s and 60s market. If you're after that sort of sound, it really is a place where you want to be.
You do see some indie guys using these, which is cool, you know. And but yeah, I know what you mean about the kind of they to me they kind of. You know, I'm in my mid-30s. I feel like Gretsch missed my generation a little bit. You know, we grew up on
Les Pauls
and
white Strats.
Yeah, exactly. So this is like, to me, it's actually probably the second time I've been really close to Gretsch's. I had a student who had one, and he was great. He was a great player. And he was really into his indie stuff, and I think that's what dragged him into the Gretsch thing.
The sound that Gretsch's give, and you can attribute to a lot of different things, but I've always kind of thought they sound like a really angry, maybe almost P90 type. You get almost a lot of twang, a lot of mids in them and things like that, and they're just like, for the money that you pay out for the guitar that you get is just really good. So this one's a 5622. The one there's a little bit of a rarer beast, that's a 5410. And this was a limited run that they did.
It's like a Nokia.
No, it does, in a 5410. It makes a really cool ringtone. Around the sides it's all white, top's red, headstock's red, white neck. They did it in a range of different colours. I think they did blue, they might have done green.
Oh, it's really popping actually. This colour is so
it's
popping.
Gorgeous.
In real life, it's just, oh my god, look at the back.
It's probably, I'd say, as close to, and again, because obviously Fender do own Gretsch, right. That's probably what you're looking at there, is Fiesta Red, in a roundish about way, because there's a Fiesta Red Stratocaster just on the wall there.
It's the same as that.
I'm pretty sure it's the same colour.
It's a 50s one.
Yeah, so there's things with Gretsch's that are really cool. There's another one not there. There's another one over here. There's a few more we've got around us at the minute. And they do things like P90s. You can get them with P90s. You can get them with 3 pickups. Bigsby's, different necks, different bodies, different outlooks, things like that. Big jazzer style, massive body stuff. I don't know. I've always thought with a lot of people that come through that door, they look and go, "Oh, you've got a Gretsch." It's like the forgotten brand. People go, "Oh, you got Gibson, you got Epiphone, you got Fender, you got blah blah blah," and they go, "Oh, Gretsch." And they never really think of Gretsch, but it does so many cool things.
I must agree. The setup on it's spot on as well. It's really
nice piece of kit.
Yeah, these pickups. What style pickups are they? Are they humbuckers or are they?
They are. They're a humbucker, but they're not a massive humbucker. You can see they're quite small. So they're probably more akin to like mini humbuckers you see on Gibson Deluxes and Firebirds and things like that. There's loads of different pickup styles you can get with Gretsch. Filtertrons, TV Jones, G Supers. There's loads of different outputs and things that they make them sound like. But I think what's in there is probably more of a vintage style sound, even for Gretsch. The one in these is a bit more wider range, a bit more, so they're probably a little bit hotter. Probably take gain a bit better. But they make them all over the place. China, Korea. You can get them made, obviously upper level, the Gretsch in Japan.
Right.
And then if you really want to spend, I don't know, small size family hatchback money, you get them in America.
Right.
And they are mega money.
It's cool how it comes with a Bigsby.
Yeah, it is.
It works as well.
Yeah.
No one's ever done Steve Vai licks on it.
So the Gretsch. Should we do some...
I really like it though, and it's got a really nice tension to it.
Yeah.
It's got a bit of a jazzy thing going.
Very much has. Jazzy, you can get a lot of stuff with Gretsch. I mean, there's even people in the rock world. You got people like Malcolm Young, LTD.
Oh my god, how
always
can you forget?
Using Gretsch guitars.
It has that amazing sound as well.
Yeah, and it is and that is the sound of a Gretsch. You know, that I'd say there's no way around that. If you want that sound, first thing you need is a Gretsch with TV Jones style pickups in it, which I've not got anything here at the minute with that in it, but that's what you find in a lot of higher end stuff. They're quite expensive, but they really do have that. It's just this mid-rich sound that you don't get anywhere else, and you can't get it out of an normal humbucking Gibson or whatever. You certainly can't get it out of anything Fender-esque really.
It's a lovely top end as well, isn't there? Just like a clarity to it.
A real clarity.
You're not getting with a normal humbucker.
That's right. It's if you want that sound, then that's where it's at. And then of course there is people who use Gretsch's in other stuff. The Cult. I can't remember the guy's name.
Oh, okay.
The guitarist from the Cult. We'll name him that.
We'll put him in post.
Yeah, Mr. G Cult. He plays White Falcon. There's always been friends playing a White Falcon.
I always remember, because obviously being a 90s kid, like Californication music video, and John Shanty playing one.
Yeah.
That was the first time I probably ever saw a Gretsch. And Brian Setzer.
Yeah, of course.
And Stray Cats, he was cool.
There's so many cool. Gretsch is always this brand that's sort of overlooked, but you get so much guitar for the money. And some of their Les Paul's solid body type stuff, I'd stick it right up against an Epiphone.
Oh, really?
Any day of the week. And arguably the actual final exit the factory job where the setup is, probably be as far as to say they kind of supersede it. Wicked guitars for the money. But then again, there's some other bits and pieces that sub 500 quid in the used guitar world will get you. You get a lot of Fender. You can get a lot of Fender for the money. You probably struggle to get anything in the Vintera line or classic 50s or 60s lines, but you sure as damn can find Player series Fenders in that world. That Telecaster just there. And for the gigging musician, is all the Telecaster you'll ever need.
Let's check it out.
Yeah,
so this is
go on that.
This is the Player Tele.
That is a Player Series Telecaster. That is a Player Series.
So
it's a change of scratch plate.
Mexican guitar.
Yeah, what's on the back of the headstock? That's a 2020 model, so it's 4 years old, but it's still the same model that they are making in Mexico at the minute, and you can buy in a shop. And you will find they use all over selling sites for that sort of money. The
fretboard on this is lovely, and it's got that lovely kind of thick. They've done something where they've got quite a worn-in feel.
Yeah.
Of satin on the back, but then you've got that thick lacquer that you get on the vintage.
On the actual fretboard.
Yeah, which is really. There's no compression or anything going on with this setup that we're using. It's just
using a pedal with some cables.
So it rings out on your two pickups as well. The tone is quite effective on it. Let's just go to that kind of.
With this is the Mexican Player series that you buy in shops today, which is what you're looking at right there. That obviously superseded what was the Mexican standard, which they ran for many, many years. And there is differences between the two, not massively. People think they've got a Player or they've got a standard or whatever. The first thing you can tell is with the headstock logo. So you see on this one, it's much more like your 50s style, where you can sort of the Fender logo's got the translucent bit to it.
Spaghetti, isn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly it. And then the other ones, the standards, are much more your 70s style, where it's sort of black with the gold outline to it. And that's your standard. And that changed in about 2019, 18, 19, I think was the change of it. The biggest thing was it's Alnico pickups versus ceramic bottom pickups.
Oh, nice.
So the Player series has Alnicos. The later standards had ceramic base, which gives you completely different, but a different sort of tonal aspect to it. But so much guitar for the money. I mean, I've got that one in, and it's going to go on the website, and that'll be £475. It does have the original white pick card, we just haven't got around to putting it on yet, but it will go on. It could come with a tortoiseshell one if you really wanted to.
I like the tortoiseshell.
Quiet tank.
I'm a sucker for a tortoiseshell.
To look alright. So there's that, and that'll give you all the Tele you'd want for under £500. New price on those I think is about £700. Being a musician, if you're in that world and you don't want to, if you've got a custom shop, which we have over there, custom shop Tele, and you don't want to see it end up getting smashed about, that will give you pretty much what you kind of want. And alright, you might want to play around with some electrics, maybe. You want to go shoving some nicer pickups in it, arguably you can do, but it's a great platform.
Yeah, 100%. Should we have a look at the Epiphone?
Absolutely.
So we've got an Epiphone Dot.
We have. So Epiphone, again, like I know I said with Gretsch, that okay, you might get, but there's so many models that Epiphone do that you just want. 335s, Les Pauls, SGs, Explorers, Vs, Firebirds, 345s, 55s. You want Bigsby's. You want this range of Epiphone is just really nice.
Greenies now.
Greenie.
Get a greenie if you want.
For lots of money.
I know.
We'll leave that there. I mean, again, there's plenty of Gibsons out there for. Yeah. Anyway, great guitars. Honestly, my first ever guitar was an Epiphone Les Paul Custom. It is over there. I'm sure we'll get a chance to display it at some point. But my first ever guitar was one of those. Did loads of gigs. I think it fell out of a car. It fell down the stairs. It fell over in the kitchen.
Was it drunk, or was it like?
No, the operator was.
All right.
It had a lot of things happen to it, but you know what? It just kept going. It keeps going. They're so well made. They're really cool guitars. And what this is a slightly older style one with the with a longer headstock to it. So the new ones now, they come with the inspired by Gibson headstocks, which are more like a Gibson headstock. And it's a 335, and it sounds like a 335. Put on a neck pickup.
Oh, it's really got that.
Got
that
the thing
there.
I mean, what we're using is obviously emulation speakers, but we're using a Dream 65, which is kind of giving a Fenderish vibe.
Yeah.
335 into a Fender Twin is a really cool sound.
Just happy days, isn't
happy
it?
Days, all
happy
you
days all day long.
So yeah, so that one there, Epiphone 335.
How much would that have been new, do you think? Was that when they were like 700 quid?
This one's 2017. And
right.
Something that I've noticed, and there's very little documents about this, getting a bit nerdy now, is what wood would you say that fretboard is? Apart from being a damn clean.
Yeah, right, so I've cheated because I know that there was a problem with rosewood then. It was Palfero, was it? Or is it...
Well, this is the thing. I don't know. And I think that there are some of these that left the factory with ebony fretboards.
Oh, really?
Because you look at that grain, I don't know how that couldn't be anything other than ebony. And it's not... Palfero's a bit of a weird look.
It's a bit bright looking. That's a bit ebony, isn't it?
It's a bit ebony style with the grain and stuff.
I heard that 1 in 20 ebony trees actually is black inside. And
it's
the rest,
good enough.
Yeah, so the amount of waste is crazy. And there's a video with Bob Taylor that he put out quite a few years ago about how he bought all the ebony because he was like, wow, tough.
Yes.
I'm going to use the ebony because it sounds great. It's a good tone wood.
Yeah.
So, you know, and out of that I would have expected more really funky looking ebony fretboards. So maybe it could be part of that.
I don't know, there's not much documented on what these did, because I had a natural one not so long ago, and it was the first one I've had like it, and this is the second one I've had like it, where the fretboard is that dark. I don't see how it could be rosewood, but I can't see anywhere that says it's rosewood. But I'm with my eye, and I've got a few guitars in my hand, I don't think that's rosewood. I genuinely do not think that is rosewood.
No.
It can't
it's
be.
It's just super tight, isn't
it? The grain's too tight, the wood's
like,
too dark, and it's not Rich Light, which is the composite thing.
Where when they press it down.
Yeah, they compress wood together and they dye it black, because it's not that, because that's got no grain, that's just black.
It's just not
a blob.
It's just awful.
So this one's a bit of an anomaly. I'm sure I'll find out some more about it.
It's a Martin thing, isn't Martin do things like that?
Yeah, well, it's more structurally sound over time and things like that.
Yeah, it makes sense, but like it's a guitar, like guitars. I don't know, it's just me. I just think
it's nice to be made out of pieces of wood rather than crushed up bits of wood.
Yeah, guitars are marriage. Like a guitar. That's why I'm sure there's better materials to make guitars from than wood, but we'll never buy them because we're guitarists. And,
exactly.
You know,
well, Parker did some bad things with carbon fibre and aluminium.
The flies are wicked, actually.
Yeah. But yeah, woods was the thing. But these wood, new price on these, you're probably talking at the time 600-ish.
Right.
And now you will pick these up. I mean, this one will go on the internet at 350.
Wow.
So for 350 quid, you can have...
I don't know if that's the best guitar you can get for 350. I don't know. I think it's got to be up there, hasn't it?
Well, it's just so much guitar and they're so well finished.
Yeah.
And you know, you just get all the 335 sounds you want.
It's probably one of the most versatile guitars you can get. Really.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't think of anything else more versatile.
No. You get so much out of it. You get so much sort of thickness and sounds and things like that out of them. Great guitars for the money. Same with Les Pauls and SGs. They obviously have their thing, but these are kind of, weirdly enough, they've never had a bad spot in time. Everyone who's used one has been kind of graceful and like, you know what I mean? Yeah,
there wasn't like the treacherous years of Epiphone.
It's
not really been a thing.
Who's that weirdo that used a 335? There's no one. Everyone who's used one has had a bit of class about them all through time. You know, even bands like Oasis and whatever have been famous for using Sheratons and 335s.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What we've got here is some Strats.
We've got some Strats. Okay. Well, first off, what's in your hands?
So this is the Mexican Classic series.
Yes.
You'll have to remind me. I can't.
The year on that is 2013. So
2013.
we're right on the edge of what was a classic 50s and what was a Vintera.
Right, I love this.
I think Vintera was slightly after, but that's that is Summit Red.
Would we say that compared to the new ranges now that Fender have brought out, this is probably more accurate to a 54, 55 Strat, just because of the V-shape profile, the way it's lacquered, the way that you adjust the truss rod from there,
rather than up there.
Obviously the SpaghettiOs, the
vintage button style too,
buttons, all of it, even the stamps down here.
They did a really good job. The classic 50s and 60s Strats was some of the best guitars that come out of Mexico, in my opinion.
It's got no lines on here either. It's
a one-ply plate.
One-ply plate.
And it's Fiesta Red, not Summit Red. So to the other end of Fender world, maybe, is what I've got here. Now, this thing is a, well, I think it's an Affinity Squier. But the reason I picked this out is just to show what you can do with what is a fairly inexpensive guitar. So these, I think, are now, I might be wrong, but I think it's called the Squier Sonic series or something like that. I don't know whether Affinity's still a thing, I might be wrong. And these are about 200 quid, brand new. 219 quid, I think, is the exact number. But what this one's got in it is it's got exactly the same pickups as what's in there.
Oh.
So these are Vintera style pickups. So technically they're not.
So it didn't come with that.
No.
Someone's put them in.
No, but you know, you could, if you walked in a shop today and bought this whole guitar as it would cost you, it would probably cost you about 350, 400 quid to have this, everything on this guitar that you want. But obviously the beautiful thing is, it's not new. You're not buying it brand new. It does have a bit of a battle scar there, which we'll cover up and do something with later. But this guitar will be on our website for 150 quid. And in essence, what you basically get there is a set of Fender Vintera pickups and a free guitar.
I was going to say, aren't they 150 quid anyway?
Yeah, so this will be 150 quid.
It's got a Wilkinson bridge as well.
It's got a Wilkinson bridge. It's got Wilkinson pickups on it. Wilkinson tuning pegs on it. It does have a bruise. Wallop. But you know what?
It looks good though.
Well,
I like a bruise on a guitar.
Well, where's the bruise gone now? You see, arm over that, disappeared.
You're just going to have to play your guitar with your arm over it, aren't you? It's still got the tone, hasn't it?
Sound, you know, we're going.
It's actually quite meaty down in the, on that pickup selection, which is great.
But you just get all the sounds of one of those in something like this. And if you do, alright, if you're not scared of getting your keys and going out for a good drive, because you might be somewhere in the country and you're not scared of, you know, grabbing something, if it's got these pickups in it, maybe you might not be a dab hand with a soldering iron, but we are. So if you do have one ever, upgrade your guitar and take your Squier Affinity, Bullet, even Classic Vibe. You know, this Classic Vibe stuff.
They're great guitars as well.
Unbelievable guitars for the money.
They're somewhere between these two things actually. Yeah. So, yeah, we had when I was a music teacher, I used to get quite a load of students rock up with the Classic Vibes and try and distract me from teaching and stuff. With,
like that.
Hey, look at this, and I'll be like,
oh, it's a guitar,
like a magpie.
Yes.
And that was their way around really getting the work done. But yeah, so but again, it's the kind of things like this lacquer job really that you've got on the neck, and those lovely fretboards, those rolled edges that you get. The hardware's pretty much the same as well. And the only difference is it's got, for me, it had Squier, and it was probably made not in Mexico.
No, Indonesia, China, various other places. But the thing is as well, if you're not scared of modding your guitar, you can go out and you can save yourself a serious amount of money, buy a decent platform, something like this, which is alright, it's got the knock on it, but it's still here, and it sounds...
Sounds every inch a Strat to me.
Strat, yeah.
Sounds like a Strat. I mean, I've done that to 2 guitars in the past. So I've got a Telecaster and I've put P90s on it and a big fat humbucker on the bridge.
That'll work.
With a coil split, and then I've also got a Strat Squier with 2 P90s.
Nice.
And it just sounds really like the thickest Strat I've ever heard.
It was a great combination of doing it.
Yeah, so you can, and that came out of me wanting a Noventa Strat, or I actually thought, wouldn't it be good to have P90s? Googled it. Oh no, they already do it. Oh no, it's like
all the money.
$1,000 or something for a Mexican one.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
And because I'm from the 90s, like a Mexican guitar should cost £300 in my mind still, even though they probably never did cost that. But now, you know, I'm perfectly happy with the Squiers. Great guitars.
Great guitars, and like, you know, you can get, if you just want that sound or whatever, and you're not in a position to go out and spend the money like this is, I suppose the elephant in the corner of the room is kind of saying, all right, this will always be a Squier.
Yeah.
That is a Fender. It is like saying I've got a Ford and I've stuck a prancing horse on it and I've got a Ferrari. It's not quite the case. It is a Ford with a Ferrari badge on it. This is still going to be a Squier. That's still going to be a Fender. In 20 years or 30 years or 40 or 50 years time, that's still going to be a Fender. It might carry a little bit more weight with it when it comes to value. The frets might last a bit longer, the electrics might last a bit longer, you might not have to change the pots, blah blah blah. The truss rod will probably still work in 30 years time, whereas if you leave this one in your airing cupboard it probably won't. Right. Because, you know, that's just the way it is. It might do, it might not. But the nature is Fender versus Squier, you are just going to get some little bits in there which you don't see, you can't see them, but they are there, and that's what kind of does carry the weight. But if you want to have a guitar that could last 5 years, could last 10 years, get yourself something like this and start having a little bit of a play with stuff. And yeah, it's a great platform to do stuff with. Excellent. Okay, so these are the wild cards from the collection. Yeah, absolutely. So I've got here a Washburn WI 617 Pro. So these, it's got Seymour Duncan pickups in it. What it has got is something else. And I don't fully understand how this system works, but it gives you a blend of tone, pickups and various other things. You can blend coil taps and things like that with this. A blended coil tap? Something in that region there. It is an enigma of wiring in there, which I never want to have to fix, put it that way. But it does some really cool stuff with tones. And again, this is something that a lot of guitar manufacturers like Washburn and heaps of others of them, they were trying stuff like that to obviously get your money. Yeah. Because they don't have the weight of Fender or Gibson or whatever on the red stock, so they've got to try something. And there's loads of cool things, and there's a Westone over there. Westone, yeah. Which has got 3 switches and a blend of, rather than having a switch for pickup selection, it's got that as well. You can actually get a blend of pickups. So just having one or the other or both isn't enough. But Rickenbackers have the same thing, actually. You can get a blend of pickups on it. Cool, so they're doing some really cool stuff with pickups and this, that and the other. Great guitars. Washburn do make some really cool stuff. There's loads of manufacturers in this world here that make some really top-notch guitars. Fernandez, yeah, Tokai, there's Greco, all those. And then, are they all made by PT Court, or is that a will? A lot of them are that kind of thing. Yeah, a lot of them are made in that world, and it's just a way of them getting their design from paper to that. Yeah. You know, China makes all the guitars, by the way. So if you ever look at a Chinese guitar, you go, no, not that. Actually, they make more guitars than any other country, really. Yeah, you know. There is this thing with Korean guitars and Chinese guitars, especially with Epiphones. I've had them all in droves and a lot of them. There are subtle differences with some of the Korean ones where I have to go, yeah, that is something that's all right. But on the whole, they're just as good as each other, in my opinion. In actual fact, the Korean ones, wiring systems usually tend to be a little bit. Oh, really? Yeah, not as good. And this is a brand here, LTD, which I've always been fond of. I've always thought... Mr. LTD. I love LTD guitars. I think they're finished, as well as ESP, they're finished absolutely it's beautiful. Awesome. Guitar. They're just wicked. And they've got obviously their main models. The Eclipse is probably their main model, which is a Les Paul with a pointy horn, usually in a matte colour with gnarly sounding pickups in it, catering for the metal people. But don't forget, there is people that have played ESP and LTT guitars that have endorsements. Ronnie Wood,
wasn't the Metallica guys?
Yeah. He's in that world of the metalist.
The more pointy ones.
Yeah, the more you pick it up wrong, it has your eye out jobs. But they're just great guitars. You know, it's
got Grovers.
It's got a volute.
Tiny Grovers and a volute on the back of the headstock. Look, just to say, and I must say the paint job on this is just amazing. Yeah, and it's all it's very, very sparkly.
The inlays as well. Oh my god! So you got almost like an abalone inside of Mother of Pearl.
And the fret job is just stunning. They're like rounded off on it, like those. It's like if I did a little video of this, it would go viral just on the fret job.
Well, this is a guitar that no one ever heard of. That no one ever knows even that guitar exists. Really, this is a model that they made for such a short period of time, and they made it so well.
So this one, the switch is there. It's a bit strange.
Yeah, it's kind of in the way the Bigsby arm. If you put it back
there. Bigsby's, they're cool.
They're cool.
If I try the middle, suddenly got that. Oh, it's got a bit more girth now.
More bite. Still going?
Still going, everyone.
Still there.
3 hours later. It's a fab guitar, isn't it? You can do that. You can gig with this all day long.
Yeah,
I probably would need to think about what outfits I'm wearing, checking that it goes well with it. You know what I mean?
Flares.
Big flares. And
some sort of...
What you said, a fez?
No, not fez. Some sort of medallion.
It's got a Larry Coltney thing going on. Is it semi-hollow? It's just this
sense block.
What's not to like though?
Yeah, and this has got Seymour Duncans in it. So exactly which ones I'm not 100% sure. I presume the JBs or something like that. It's just quite a rich sounding guitar.
Yeah.
Just so when you look at the way they're finished, the necks, you got that heel join. That one's got
a really cool heel join as well.
Grover tuning pegs, I'm pretty sure on both. Grover tuning pegs. And this has got some patent tuning system made in Korea.
Buzz Fielton tuning system.
Yeah, we like that, whatever that is. But it's got Grovers with 18:1 gear ratios in it. Which is cool for the person that needs that in their life.
I prefer a 19:1. No, I don't know. I really don't know how that impacts on
just
it.
Numbers.
But this is also in that category. So if you want to stand, I think these stand out a bit more.
Yeah, absolutely.
They are a different kind of vibe. So.
Yeah, it's more of a. there's like I said, there's absolute stacks. You look at your main manufacturers, Epiphone, Fender, Gretsch, blah blah blah. You've got loads of guitars. You go off that beaten track just a little bit, and you're going to end up with something, hopefully, a really cool bit of kit like LTD, Washburn, Ibanez have some so cool guitars that you wouldn't think they have. I have one of the Schofield, the John.
Oh my god, that John Schofield guitar.
Unbelievable.
It's on another level, isn't it? When you look at the build quality.
Yeah. Some of the Artcore stuff, some of the hollow body stuff, some of all that sort of stuff.
I have a micro that I take away on holiday with me and stick it on my back sometimes when I ride my motorbike. And it's the only guitar you can stick on your back and go on your motorbike.
Yes.
On your sports bike. And honestly, you could shove it in your back, go somewhere spiritedly, get to the place, and it will still be in tune.
Yeah,
it's just ace. So, yeah, definitely. Anything Ibanez.
Great guitars. Yeah, there's so many cool guitars, and like I said, sub 500 quid or 500 quid there is new as damn it. That one, I think. You're just getting yourself so much stuff, and of course there is a wall over there of pointy weird stuff. Which, if you're into that world of V's and Explorers, there's brands like Jackson, there's brands, even Epiphone venture into the world of metal-y type stuff, and Ibanez's and things like that. They're just, so much cool guitars out there for under 500 quid. And that weren't 500 quid, they were new, of course. That's the thing.
It's the way to go.
If you want to save yourself a few hundred quid, you get a second-hand one. If it's been set up properly.
It's a life. It's a thing for life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.